Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. And obviously, it's for an amazing cause. And I do want to just jump right into it. And I want to start with JC. Just the whole Gear Up Against Cancer campaign. Can you just describe just going through that whole process and starting that?
Uh,
Um, NFL Alumni and the CDC have partnered for this Gear Up Against Cancer campaign, and in particular, lung cancer, which is the third leading cancer of all cancers, which is pretty surprising and really affects the men of color, African American men, and so we just want to try to help and do our part in terms of getting the awareness out. Smoking in particular, if you smoke, if first of all, don't smoke. And if you do, then get checked out. And, we just want to be proactive and use our platform to get the word out and try to see if we can be proactive and help people avoid this terrible disease.
Oh, definitely. And obviously, you guys are the perfect people to be out there just because of everything you've done and knowing about your bodies and knowing health as well to be able to push this message in terms of people being educated. I do want to ask and go around the room in terms of any personal stories that are close to in regards to lung cancer or just anybody anybody in your family that helped in terms of your involvement in this campaign. And Deron, I want to start with you, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. So, in my family, not lung cancer, but my dad had stomach cancer that he passed away from. And I've had some brothers who have dealt with some cancer situations, not lung cancer particularly. We have a charity event that we put on every year, and we deal with kids that are suffering from cancer. So even though it's not lung cancer, there's different forms of cancer that we all have to be aware of. And no matter what it is, from a standpoint of lung cancer, it's all about the awareness. So for me, it's about bringing awareness to any type of cancer that's out there because it's bad and people are dying every day. As JC said, you know, you've got 80, 90% of people who are smoking that are dying from this terrible disease. And you either don't smoke, don't start smoking, or if you're smoking, make sure you go get checked out. So the awareness is a big key, especially in the African American community, because a lot of times African Americans are the last ones who want to go see a doctor and want to go get checked out. So anyway, as professional athletes, that we can bring that awareness to this message, that's why I'm here, and I think it's important that we speak out about the dangers of smoking and lung cancer.
And Dante, do you have a personal story?
Yeah, mine's is similar to Deron. I don't have anyone that died from lung cancer, but my grandmother passed from breast cancer, and my aunt, my dad's sister, she survived breast cancer. And a good friend of mine, Tori Hope, and his brother Terrence Hope, I support their initiative every year because their parents died from cancer, and they have an initiative to help kids that have lost parents to cancer. So, like the run, no one in particular for lung cancer, but cancer is cancer, right? And I think early detection, whether it's lung cancer, breast cancer, or any form of cancer, is really key. Like Deron and JC said, awareness, early detection is like going to be your best friend when dealing with any type of cancer. So no one, fortunately, has died from lung cancer, but I think any type of cancer we can all relate to in regards to this initiative and getting awareness out there and using our platforms to help people go get checked out. And Deron is correct. In the African community, we're the last ones to go to a doctor. Like we wait until it's too late. So if we can lend that voice, our voices, and get people to go get checked out and get early detection, I'm all for it.
Definitely. And Jamaal, do you have a input?
Not similar to the like Darrell and Dante and JC said, but my mama have like diabetes and but she still smoke and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be on this campaign. Because with her having lung cancer, it caused her to, I mean, not lung cancer, diabetes, and smoking at the same time. It's not good for her health. It's not good for her diabetes. Uh, you- and my mom been smoking since I was little. So, what I'm saying, that's one reason I don't smoke, because my mom used to smoke me out the car. But I wanted to lead out on this campaign because, smoking is not good for you. And being a professional athlete, health and wellness is a big important in my life. And lung cancer is the most common cancer in the United States. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be on this campaign, because I wish I really I don't like smoking now, and I wish we can stop people from smoking as well. So it's a big thing for me, because any cancer is not good.
Definitely. And JC, I'm gonna come right back to you. Obviously, the Kansas City area, you guys represent so much in regards to what you've done on the field and what you continue to do in the community. Just can you just talk about that in terms of just how the community has responded when you guys have been out there at events, or just showing obviously not just the lung cancer event, but just your own events and just giving back. Can you just anybody want to just jump in on that one? It could be JC, anybody.
Yeah, the Kansas City community has always been so supportive of all of us, various foundations, various functions, various campaigns. Uh, and that's why, our voices are maybe a little bigger in the Kansas City community than maybe some other teams and guys in other communities, because of, the support that they give us. So, that's why I thought it was great that the NFL alumni and the CDC chose Kansas City to be one of the cities to start this campaign because of us. And I thought in choosing Deron and Dante and Jamaal, guys that had great careers, have done great things in the community, still continue to do great things in the community, as well as the other guys that we would really be able to make an impact with the response here in Kansas City, and just the connections and the voices that we have here.
Yeah, JC is absolutely correct, man. The way the Kansas City community supports the current players as well as retired players, it really does feel like a close-knit family in that community. It's very different. I played for the Rams also. It was not like that in St. Louis. I have other friends that are in big markets, like where I live now in New York. And Kansas City is a special place. And whether you play there currently or before, they're going to support your initiative, especially a beautiful campaign like the one we're supporting.
Yeah, Kansas City is probably one of the most truly special places that I've had the opportunity of living and being a part of that community. And, I've had a foundation for over 30 years, and the support that the community has given our foundation has just been tremendous. Giving back, I mean, this community reaches out to folks, they reach out to each and every one of us. And I think, as JC said, it's a brotherhood. It's really us partnering with each other to make our community much better, much safer, much healthier. And I think this campaign will lead to, that being one of the other things that we've done in Kansas City to really support our community in a positive way.
Yeah, joining this campaign, I wanted to just use my influence, use my me playing in Kansas City for a decade. I'm always active in the community, always anything I can do positive to improve people and people health. I'm all with it. I'm always inspiring people. So it's definitely a campaign that I was excited to do, because, like I said, my mom, she still smoke. I'm still trying to get her to stop. But it's just it don't start with my mom, but it start with a lot of other people's too. So I wanted just to use my professional athlete and health and wellness, and important just to be on this campaign.
Well, it definitely is, and obviously it's an amazing campaign. Everything you guys do is so important. I do want to switch gears a little bit and talk about, because we were just saying Kansas City. Of course, we know the big news that the Chiefs will be moving over to the Kansas to in a couple of years and leaving Arrowhead Stadium. I'm just curious, just your guys, your memories. You played in Arrowhead Stadium. all the great games that you've played, is there anything that sticks out just from your time playing? And Dante, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
I mean, there's a lot that sticks out, right? When you play in that stadium, I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is leaving Texas A&M, which is one of the best collegiate atmospheres you can play in. I was very fortunate to get that at the professional level. We played in many stadiums. In retirement, we visited many stadiums. I've been fortunate to go to soccer games in Europe. Kansas City and Arrowhead is a very, very special stadium just because of the passion that that fan base brings. So the thing that stands out to me without going over any particular player or anything, the first thing that comes to mind for me is passion. Those fans have passion, whether you are in the Super Bowl era led by Mahomes and Coach Andy Reid, or when I was there with Dick Vermeil and we couldn't even win a playoff game. I feel like the passion was the absolute same. And that says a lot about that community and that fan base.
Deron, do you have a?
Yeah, I'll go back to my beginnings in the early 80s when you know, from my standpoint, and I think JC, because JC was there with me for most of it, was I remember playing a game in there when there was only maybe at the most 5,000 people in the stands.
In Arrowhead, or are you talking about Municipal Stadium?
I'm talking about Arrowhead Stadium. If there was 5,000 people in the stands in that stadium, seating 80,000 people, I mean, I'm telling you, there wasn't much more than that, man. I'm telling you. And then to go from that experience to when we played the Buffalo Bills on a Monday night game, and to me, that's when Arrowhead got its heartbeat, got its life, and there was nothing, no experience like that. It was the loudest I had ever heard that stadium, and was the most incredible atmosphere I had ever been in my entire football career, and that was something that from that point on Arrowhead was a special place. I mean, it started with this tailgating, you know, before the game, you know, the smoke. I mean, everybody talks about that. I mean, I had family members that come in and watch the game and they go, man, golly, there was so much smoke outside the stadium from people barbecuing and enjoying themselves. It just became an atmosphere that was like second to none. You couldn't replicate it anywhere else in the National Football League. And I don't think you'll ever be able to replicate the atmosphere that was at Arrowhead throughout our careers.
Definitely. JC, do you have a? I know
Yeah.
you kind of. I don't know if you're gonna piggyback off of that as well from that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I don't know, Deron, if you caught that dig by Dante, man, about Municipal Stadium.
Yeah.
Hey, I know I was way after that, bro. But
Yeah.
you know, like Deron said though, you know, at the beginning of our careers, man, Arrowhead Stadium was, you know, we weren't winning very many games, and I mean you couldn't give away tickets, and like Deron said, I mean we used to come out to some games and there would be more signs for the visiting team than for us, and then once Carl and Marty came in, it started to change, and then like Deron said, that 1991 Monday Night Football game against Buffalo, and Buffalo was in their heyday then. You know, they went to 4 straight Super Bowls. They were, you know, kind of running the AFC at that time, and they came in here. And that stadium, that was the beginning of Arrowhead Stadium and the mystique that it now has. And man, the electricity in that stadium, you know, you hear guys talk about the atmosphere being electric. And that was the first time that I really felt that, man. There was something from the crowd, man. You know, as soon as we came out for warm-ups, man, it was just, you know, you could just feel it. There was a buzz in the air, and we put it on them that night on Monday night in front of the whole nation. And you know, that kind of led to where it is now, or the beginning of it. But, you know, of course, you know, these great players, Dante, Jamaal, Deron, you know, they all had to do, you know, lend their talents to that so that the Chiefs can continue to win, because obviously you have to win to keep that environment. And those guys, great players, all pro players, many memorable plays, and that also lends to the mystique of Arrowhead. And those guys will always be in that Arrowhead lore as well. But yeah, that stadium is something else. So it's going to be sad to see that gone. But hopefully, in Kansas, in the new stadium, they'll be able to replicate the fans, because fans are fans. And Arrowhead Chiefs fans travel all across the country, so they shouldn't have any problem traveling from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas.
What are your thoughts, Jamaal?
I think it definitely about the confusion of me when I got drafted, when I thought I was going to Kansas instead of Missouri. So that's one of the confusion. But man, I have great memories there. I scored my first touchdown in Arrowhead. Uh, we had the Dennis World record in for the Lawler Stadium in the Arrowhead. Man, just coming out the tunnel and they yelling your name, saying my name, come out turn from University of Texas. That's one of the fires moment I have, just coming out. I can dance. I can you know what I'm saying, like enjoy just and just seeing the crowd getting loud and seeing them making the offensive team jump outside, having that advantage. Just those moments, man. I just hope that carry on to the next stadium, Kansas, and I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I know, history's move on, but I hope that we have that same feeling going on to the future with us.
Like JC said, man, it's the fans that make the stadium. So
Yeah.
whether the stadium is at Arrowhead in Missouri or moving over to Kansas, I think that atmosphere is going to be the same.
I hear that. And obviously, this past season, a little disappointing with the record and just the way things kind of ended off. Whatever, could go wrong went wrong. Jamaal, I want to throw this back to you because you were obviously on the team during the start of this dynasty, as people like to call it. Do you feel like this past season was just like a bump in the road, or was this possibly the end of probably one of the greatest eras in NFL history?
No, I think when we was on that little run, we had a lot of pieces, and then a lot of pieces started to drop off, like coaches. Some coaches play a way important role. Coach Bieniemy, most people don't really understand. He played a big role from the beginning of getting me to the running back I was when he got there and he took my career. And Coach Henry did too. And then you know what I'm saying them runs is most of the majority of Coach Bieniemy, man. The way he hold players accountable, the way that you want to play for a guy like that, the way that he push you. And then, you know what I'm saying, still, you still got Coach Andy Reid, but I just think that just pieces that some of the pieces are missing from that little run we made, little history that Pat and Chris and Pat and who else I'm
Nelson.
gonna say?
Travis.
Travis,
Travis.
they part of the culture. So I think once you lose some of them pieces off the culture, it's just hard to keep in track. But it's hard to keep a dynasty forever. I would love to go to Super Bowl every year, man. Help me out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
So,
you got other people, you know what I'm saying? You got other people always chasing them too. People always chasing them the best. And I think that's what it is. I think it's not dying yet. Pat will come back with vengeance. Like I came back from my ACL. He would come back with more. Like he see what's going on. So I think we got one piece, you know what I'm saying?
and
Yeah.
I think hunger is a part of it. There are some guys on this team that have only been to a Super Bowl. They don't know anything else. This is the first, and you know how hard it is to
Yeah.
to just get to the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl. It's crazy. And some of these guys, that's all they know
Yeah.
up until now. So they've never encountered that diversity. And so if you come into the league and all you know is going to the Super Bowl, you just expect, oh, it's going to be easy. We're going to the Super Bowl. So it's if that's the case, I think it's easy to kind of get complacent and just think that that's how it's supposed to be, and that's far from it.
Uh,
And so I think they kind of see that now.
I think one, but on that run, you started off with me. You had Derrick Johnson, Tom Ali. You had all the Eric Berry. You know, you had all these other great players was making holding the team up, and then you started Justin Houston. You know what I'm saying? We had Eric Fisher on the line. We had all these pieces was making building these bricks up to make a house. And I want, you know, we was going to win games and know how to win games. But once some of the pieces started coming off from the foundation, you start to lose how to win again, lose. Like it's like you said, some of the people play first time playoff is to the Super Bowls was their first time. They don't know, but they don't know that when we build from the beginning of that situation.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at some of these guys. I mean, all they've known is the AFC Championship game every year. I mean,
Think it's
golly. I
easy.
mean, I remember, we got to a couple rounds of the playoffs, but never got to the AFC Championship game. And these guys, that's all they've known
Hmm.
since they've been in Kansas City over the last 6, 7 years is playing for that opportunity and playing in that game. So, yeah, I think it's you have the key ingredient, and that's the quarterback position, and that's with Mahomes. As long as he comes back, yeah, I think we're going to be fine. In the National Football League, it's difficult. I mean, this team went on a run because number one, they were able to manage injuries, and this year we weren't able to manage the injuries. When you have your offensive line in disarray for the majority of the season, you got guys out on defense. Um, and you're working with new players like in the secondary and other positions, it's difficult. And that's what I think this team has to adjust to going forward, is getting those pieces back in play. And quite frankly, I mean, it's amazing the run that they've had considering having to manage the cap and, paying, your premium players, huge salaries where you don't have that ability or flexibility to go out and get what you need just because of the salary cap issues. So hopefully they could get back to that point and get that incentive back with these players and get that hunger back, as JC said, get that hunger back into the team, and I think that'll happen.
Dante, did you have a thought?
I mean, yeah, I think the guys pretty much echoed everything I feel. I feel what Jamaal said, a crucial piece, just speaking on the offensive side, was definitely Eric Bieniemy. Like, I think he is a piece that people don't talk about enough. True, what Deron said, the offensive line was in disarray, managing injuries, the salary cap, that's all true as well. And JC hit it on the nail as well. Hunger, like when you go to seven straight AFC Championship games, you think that's just what it is, and it's just what it's going to be every year. And no, you need that hunger. So I think all of those things are true. As long as you got Mahomes, Andy Reid, you're going to be fine. But I will add to that, I think a running game is very necessary and will help not only the offense and Patrick Mahomes, but the defense as well. I think we started to rely on the Superman Herculean efforts of Patrick Mahomes too much. I think go give him a running game like Tom Brady had for his first three Super Bowls. And I think that'll help the defense be able to rest, not wear out, which also leads to injuries. So yeah, bring Eric Bieniemy back, get a every down running back, and I think everything else will fall into place.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Dante. The accountability that Eric Bieniemy brought to this team. He didn't care who it was. All this jumping off sides and penalties. Yes, it wouldn't have happened. So they need somebody that's going to bring that accountability back. You mentioned the running game. We need a running game. So bring Jamaal back. Our special teams, our return game. We really got nothing out of our return game. So bring Dante back. We need the X factor back. We didn't take the ball away enough in the secondary. Bring Deron back. We need some more interceptions. And there you got it. There, right there.
Oh man,
I wish, man. Man, wouldn't that be great if we could do that? Turn back the hands of
man,
time.
I
Yeah.
wish.
Man,
We
man.
need that. We need that LeBron James and Tom Brady diet.
I
Bring me
know
to the
that's
water
right.
of you. I need that water of you. Bring me to
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to you guys at training camp. My my last question is obviously on a player that we don't know if he's going to retire. Is he going to come back? It's the $1 million question. What's going on with Travis Kelce? You guys know that feeling of when it's time to hang it up or not. Do you feel like there's a certain way you should go? And obviously, everyone just has opinions at this point. We don't know. But I'm going to start with you, Deron. What are your thoughts on Travis Kelce and what he should do?
Uh, that's hard to tell what a player should do because everybody's situation is a lot different than the mentality going into, making a career change and wondering if this is your last year. I mean, the guy still had 850 yards in receiving. What tight ends around the league are at that level still that now are considering retirement? Most of those guys that are considering retirement, they're down at 200, 300, 400 yards. He's still at 850 yards, so he's still a contributing guy. It's really going to be up to him to make that decision whether he decides to go. And also the team has a say so in that too, because if he's going to stay, I'm sure he's going to have to take a pay cut, and get down to within a range that's comfortable for the team. Could he still, be a factor in their offense? Sure, he could. I mean, with a guy that's done 850, he could surely do 700 and still make a contribution to the team. It's just a matter of can they make the numbers work out? But it's a hard decision to make for any individual who's contemplating retirement. He has to decide that for himself. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, but then again, I think the thing that Travis has is he does have an option, and I'm sure he can still be a contributing player for this team. I know he wouldn't want to go out on the note that this football team went out on this year, and so to me, that gives me some hope that maybe he will come back for another year. I think he still could play the game.
Dante, I want to go to you. I saw you look like you had a thought on what Deron just said.
Yeah, the last thing he said is what leads me to my answer. I think you have to come back for that reason alone. You cannot end your career, number one, on the way the season went. Too great of a career to end a career on that note. Number two, when you think of Kelce, who do you think of? Patrick Mahomes. Think of Patrick Mahomes, you think of Kelce. That's Batman and Robin. That's Jordan and Pippen. Your last catch, your last game, your last pass a reception has to come from 15. It just has to. And then also, I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe this. Travis, with all the success he's had, and Deron mentioned he has options off the field, but Travis has what I think we can all agree on is a rare element throughout the NFL. That's to have the success that he's had, made the money that he's made, and still have the hunger and love for the game of football. That's the difference for me. You can tell that some people love what football gives them, and then some people love football. In my personal opinion, I feel like Travis actually loves the game of football. And because of that, you got to come back and play your last game. It has to be with your co-defendant, Patrick Mahomes. It can't be on a 6 and what do they go? 6-9 this year. Six and 10. What was it?
6-11.
Then 11.
6-11. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
end your career because I ended like that and had nowhere near the career he had. And I always think, man, I should have played one more year because the way I went out, that's what resonates. Not the 03, 04, 02 Pro Bowl season, all pro season. It's that last season that sits with me and just turns my stomach. So for all of those reasons, I hope and think Travis will be back for one more run.
Okay, Jamaal is your former teammate.
I say, man, he need to retire.
Ah.
Yeah, have nothing to prove no more, man. Number one tight end, show his broadcast for $1 billion. Man, go enjoy your life, man. You won a couple Super Bowls. I mean, that's more than anybody wished can win. It's a you 8 Pro Bowls, all pro tight end. You're a Hall of Fame tight end. I feel like if you're not, you know what I'm saying, body not into it, I say, man, he know the right time. You know, if your body not feeling, I just didn't feel like Trav was playing at a high level like he used to. Just by me knowing Trav and seeing the way he moved, but he still have it. But I mean, it ain't no like it's not like Tony Gonzalez out there almost certain age and trying to get a Super Bowl ring. You already got it. So to me, you know what I'm saying, you at that age and he at like 38, 39, you like, man, I need a Super Bowl. Yeah, I say still do it, but I say, man, you the number one tight end in history of NFL. I mean, what else? That's me, D. That's me done.
I
But
get it. I get it. I
but
get it.
it ain't nothing to prove to me. I already know you good. We already know you good. You set for life. I mean, go kick up the feet and be on somebody broadcast or ESPN, and we'll definitely tune into you because we
And you
know
know what they're gonna talk about? You know what they're gonna talk about on those broadcasts?
you.
Man, you flamed out. You went 6-11 your last year. You don't want that.
Yeah, that's just me though. That's just me. You know what I'm saying. But I won a couple Super Bowls, man, and I'll be good on the wages. Hey, man, the way his career was, it ain't nothing to prove to me.
What do you think, JC?
Yeah, I can see both ways, man. Like Jamaal was saying, you got nothing left to prove. You've done it all. Your Hall of Fame career, you got so much going on off the field. You got nothing to prove. So why come back and put yourself through it? But to your point, and to all of our, when we all retired, I don't care who you are, you think it still takes a couple of years to get that competitiveness out of you. You think, man, give me 6 months, man, get back in shape. I can go back and play, man. So that competitiveness, and he's the ultimate competitor. And to put himself through that again, though, has to be his decision. Now there's nothing to say too that he has to come back right now and go through training camp and all that. He might wait till the season starts and see where this team is at, see how Pat comes back, and then come back at that time. We've seen that happen also, but that gives him more time to rest up, get that fire burning again, because he's gonna have a long off season, getting married and all that kind of stuff. But I can see it both ways. If he wants to come back, he can still come back and be at a high level, but he's got nothing else to prove to anybody but himself. But like I said, and these brothers can attest, once you say you're done, and you always have that burning desire of, maybe I should have stayed an extra year. Maybe I could go back and do it again. So if he has all that out of him, then fine. But if he doesn't, then hey, like we used to say, man, go till the wheels fall off, and go from there. So I can see it both ways.
Okay, let me finish with this. Deron, JC, Jamaal, if your last game was a L to the Raiders, you gonna take that? Your last game of your career was a L to the Raiders. What you doing?
Oh man, I didn't lose too much to the Raiders, so
Yeah,
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 But
It's
if
just
you
with
win,
my
that can't
body,
be
you
an
know what I'm
L.
saying?
yeah.
My body said, you can't do
No,
it.
but your
My mind say
mind
you
say,
can do
yeah,
it. You know what I'm
right.
yeah.
saying? But
And
Yeah,
the one thing I think that he'll consider too is his body. He didn't have too many serious injuries during his career. So I mean that's the other thing that we need to take in consideration, that his body might be a little better off than when we were at our stages in our career when we made that decision to retire.
That's true.
yeah.
yeah. And I think he's got to, sit back and have an honest conversation with this organization to see where they're going to be next year. What type of team are they
Quarterback.
going to
You're
have?
gonna need a
Because
quarterback.
yeah, there's nothing to say that, next year they're going to go back to the playoffs or, have a Super Bowl run. It could be another year like this year. It could be worse,
They're gonna miss
so
probably 8 games.
Yeah. So in this environment, you know, you don't want to come back again and go through a losing season because he looked, you know, the last few games, and obviously Pat wasn't there with him, but he
Look
looked beat
miserable.
down, looked frustrated, you
Yeah.
know, looked like, man, I'm just ready to get this thing over with,
We
you know,
got 3 more games
Oladokin,
left.
yeah,
He
Oladokin and
he
these
looked like us
guys.
on a losing team.
What?
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
know,
What?
so I felt bad for the brother, really, you know.
Like y'all in them early 80s when y'all was at the
Yeah,
Mutual.
yeah.
All right, thank you so much
Oh
for
man.
your time. I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate you though.